Good afternoon, Vallejo. You're watching VCAT, your hometown television station. This is Community Forum, and I'm your host, Maria Bitagon. You can see our show on Channel 27 at Comcast or Channel 99 at AT&T Uverse. We are recorded on Thursdays and Sundays at 6:30. Please watch us. I am so excited today because I have, for my guest today, the mayor of the city of Vallejo. I want to welcome Mayor Bob Sampayan to my program, and I'm looking forward to asking him lots of questions that you guys might want to know or would like to know. So on that, hi, how are you, Mayor Sampayan?
Well, thanks, Maria. It's really an honor to be here to talk to you and our community about what's happening in the city of Vallejo and the excitement that is transcending our entire community. So I'm excited to see what you have to ask me to hear, and hopefully I can give you the answers, and we'll go from there.
Yes, I saw you at the event at California Maritime Academy, and I says, "Oh, there's Mayor Sampayan. He's beaming from ear to ear." So what could what could possibly be the reason behind that? How do you feel about being the mayor of one of the most diverse cities in California? Vallejo is also known as a college town because of, remember, the California Maritime Academy, Torrey University, and Solano Community College. Could you please?
Sure. Let's start with your first question, which addresses our diversity. As has been advertised nationwide, Vallejo is the most diverse community in the entire country, and that's just not our ethnic diversity, it's religious diversity, it is the LGBTQ community, it is age, it is all of that combined that makes our community an exciting community for interaction. And as a mayor, as a resident of Vallejo, what excites me is that we can all interact together and learn from one another so that people aren't sheltered from different segments.
That's
and
right.
That diversity extends to things like our different festivals.
Yes.
We have the Fiesta Sanayon.
Yeah.
We celebrate Black History Month. We do the Hispanic events. We do the Greek Orthodox Church does an event. The Catholic Church does an event. So it's really exciting to see these different cultures come together, because that's who, in reality, is who this country is.
Yeah.
Is diversity.
That's right.
Okay, and in talking about the college town, now that's something that really excites me. When I first came to Vallejo back in the very early 80s, I had no idea what CMA was, California Maritime Academy, and I began to explore it to find out what it was all about. That's when I learned that it is the largest maritime academy on the West Coast.
Yes.
And it is huge. And as I got to learn more about the academy, and now knowing the staff, faculty, but most of all the President Cropper has shown me what a college town is all about and how important their college is. I've talked to a lot of students, and these students tell me how excited they are about getting this maritime education. I have met former students who are now naval officers, Coast Guard officers, and they come from here. They come from Vallejo. And then we have Thoreau University.
Yes.
A medical university here in the city of Vallejo. Yes. How exciting is that? Their students, after they graduate, are all over the United States.
That's right.
But beyond that, they're all over the world. And these are medical professionals.
That's right.
That is huge for Vallejo. And then our community college.
Yes.
They're teaching things that are in the technology field, the automotive field. They're turning out young people that can step into the job market. So for me, education and our college town environment is huge. And now with what is happening with the community center downtown
that
we celebrated the other day,
that's right.
That was just amazing to see CMA being downtown.
Yes.
With their events, with their study hall, and the availability of community access and space.
Yes.
What better partnership?
I know, and I can see that you and Rear Admiral Cropper are really talking about it, and I says, boy, are they ever happy? So
yes, we are. Yes, we are.
So, so that is the diverse town that we have. Mm-hmm. Also, the college town that we have. Now, let me talk about our Chamber of Commerce, which is also exciting. Mm-hmm. When we talk to the Vallejo Chamber of Commerce, Filipino-American Chamber of Commerce of Solano County Black Chamber of Commerce, and the Solano Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, they would like to discuss business attraction mm-hmm. and business retention in the city of Vallejo. In order to attract business, what strategic economic opportunities can Vallejo present or offer to companies seeking to locate here?
And that's an excellent question, Maria. One of the biggest things we have to offer is a partnership with our community, a partnership with other businesses. But what we see happening is that because Vallejo still has room to grow, for instance, Mare Island,
yes,
and other areas that here on the east side of the community, we offer the ability to help companies come to our community, open up their business, provide a high-end group of professionals that will work with them to get their plans moving forward in an expeditious way so they can begin their business. Right now, what is very exciting is we have assigned people to the Mare Island project.
Wow.
And that in itself is huge, yeah, because we are attracting. Let me back up just a quick moment. The project on Mare Island is the Nimitz Group, as everybody has heard. They're visionaries. And we've had a lot of false starts, as we all know. We had Faraday Future. We had a film group that was going to come to town. We had Cancer Research Center, on and on and on and on and on, and everything has fallen flat. But what we've seen with this group that is looking at Mare Island is that they're visionaries, and they've already invested a lot of money into Mare Island itself, opening up the one of the distilleries, and with us partnering with them and the other chambers, we're attracting people by saying, look, here is a company that is building, is moving forward, is moving a segment of Vallejo forward. Take a look at this, partner with us, and be a part of this excitement as we move forward.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, James Cooper was, I interviewed him the other day, and he was talking about partnership with the Vallejo City, the City of Vallejo government. So he says, so what role does each Chamber of Commerce play in the business and economic development in the City of Vallejo first? And does the City of Vallejo have a partnership program? And that's what James Cooper was talking about with all the members of the 4 Chamber of Commerce.
Well, each chamber will attract people of their ethnicity.
Yes.
For instance, the Filipino Chamber of Commerce,
yes,
they're attracting members of the Filipino community to invest in our town.
That's right.
The same thing with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, same thing with the African American Chamber of Commerce. And as the umbrella group, the Vallejo Chamber of Commerce, ties it all together and gives them that partnership that we were initially talking about.
Yes.
And the ability to work together, to cut through red tape, to partner with the city, to move their business forward. Earlier you mentioned a very important word, and that's retention. It's wonderful that we have business coming to town, but will they stay? And that's where it's important that each chamber works with that particular business to help them to succeed, to make them a viable part of Vallejo and its residents. So that being said, we need to work together as a whole. We need to work together in unity for the betterment of Vallejo. Because if you have a successful chamber of commerce, you also have successful businesses that are intending to stay. And we're seeing that more and more and more.
I think so. And I'm very excited. And you have mentioned Mare Island and the importance of Mare Island also. So Vallejo is home to this historic Mare Island Naval Shipyard. Could you please explain the role of Mare Island in the economic vitality and business development in the city of Vallejo? Because I think you already have segued on that. But could you please extend more your explanation to the people how it has started to bloom again? And you know what? And with with there is something there that is just like Mare Island Naval Shipyard before, when we have the U.S.'s what is it? The U.S. which came here?
MRES land.
Yeah, yeah. Could you please talk a little bit more about that?
Well, I don't think the show's going to be long enough for me to talk about how excited I am about Mare Island.
Yes.
Maybe we could do a full-length feature. So, Mare Island has turned into an economic generator for the city of Vallejo.
Thank you.
What has happened over the years with Lennar Mare Island, they have sought out development for the island in terms of not only building of homes, but attracting businesses and sustainable businesses, increasing employment and employment opportunity. So that being said, one of the things that came on early on was Blue Homes.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember them.
Yes.
They were in one of the larger, well, I would say probably the largest building on Mare Island. They manufactured these gorgeous modular homes that have sold all over the country. Well, they've changed their business model a little bit.
Yes.
And they are still on Mare Island. However, they're not building on Mare Island. So a group called Factory OS took that building over.
Okay.
Factory OS builds infill housing, which are generally smaller homes, but with the same kind of strategy that they are manufactured homes and they are brought into areas to do infill development. The owner of that company, Rick Halliday, is a visionary in the housing market. And one of the things that he wants to do with his company, which he's doing currently, is expand, because they have contracts with some big names in Silicon Valley, but also to bring a think tank to his building to talk about housing and how to change the housing market. So I've heard things like Cal Berkeley and some of the Ivy League universities, as well as he and his partners, are putting together this think tank to bring that kind of knowledge to Mare Island. And that's just one example. We have Alstom Railroad that's there right now. Alstom Railroad might look like just a little warehouse that they do work on train cars, but what's exciting is everybody's probably seen this commercial on TV. It talks about the Rocky Mountain Railroad.
Yes.
And the tours they do of Canada. You know where those railroad cars come from? Mare Island.
Really?
They are built on Mare Island. Then we talked, you asked about the dry dock.
Yes.
Just recently we had a very large naval ship there, the MRES Land.
Yes.
That is one of two, and I want to make sure I have this term correct, U.S. Navy submarine tenders that are stationed on the Pacific coast. It came in for some work, and Mare Island Dry Dock was able to get that contract. They employ upwards to 600 people.
Yes.
And when they get contracts like this, it's really exciting to see that kind of work coming to Vallejo, because the dry docks are there for the use of MID, and when they bring in and fill up those dry docks with different vessels, that's more economy for the city of Vallejo, but it's also jobs for our residents. We have WIDA on Mare Island. We have all these different ventures that are on Mare Island that are just phenomenal, that are bringing income, that are bringing the tax dollar, that are causing people to look at Vallejo and say, this is a new dawn for our community.
That's right.
You know, talking about jobs overall, I just saw the most recent job analysis on Mare Island. Right now we have close to 2,800 jobs on the island.
That's what they're saying.
So that's huge.
Yes, and James Cooper was he was talking about this this group that is conducting survey and interviewing people, you know, for jobs.
Yeah. So just to finish up on that theme, the new group, Nimitz Group, is looking at a new kind of an island. They are a visionary. Oh, I failed to mention the movie industry that's there.
Oh.
There are 3 active movie studios on Mare Island.
On Mare Island.
They have filmed 13 Reasons. And in fact, they're still filming for this upcoming season. They did Transformers there. Paramount is there. There's 2 others, Netflix, and there's one other movie company that's there that I don't quite remember who that is, unfortunately, but still, there's 3 companies that are there doing active filming through Film Mare Island, which is a privately owned group. So we have 3 sound stages, and we are filming daily on the island. So that in itself is exciting.
Yes.
And Nimitz is looking at doing different kinds of projects on the north end of the island, from commercial development to another movie or film academy, to a possible winery up there, and different kind of homes in conjunction with Factory OS, and then improving the waterfront to make it more accessible to the community for recreational activities like kayaking and river access.
Yes.
Fishing. I envision a public marina there, where people that are headed up to Napa or are going up the river can dock their boat, go up to one of the restaurants that they intend to build there, and have a nice lunch and get back on their boat and keep going up north. So there's a lot of possibility, there's a lot of good things that we see going on with Mare Island, and the bottom line is it's economic development and it's more tax dollar.
So what I'm so excited about the city council, the mayor, the vice mayor, and the city council, what I'm so excited that the projects that were achieved are visibly due to the great working relationship with the council, you know, the council city members of the councils. And they were saying, you know, they have never seen, you know, the city council work very efficiently, and it seems like, so they do have differences, but you know what, that they work very well. So with the new election, what are the changes you expect to happen, or is it going to be still the smooth flow thing that is happening very recently?
I anticipate a continuum of the way this council has been operating for the past couple of years since I've been mayor. We work well together. We may not agree.
That's right.
100%. But what we have is pleasant discourse. We are not snapping at each other. We're not.
You guys have class.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Maria. I appreciate that.
Because, you know, there are some people who just go there at the city council and say anything and everything with they're not looking at what kind of things they have to say. But sometimes they just express themselves, and sometimes it's very negative. But you know what? I have seen you guys work together. And you know, when you explain to each other, sometimes you kid with whatever your differences are. But you know, it's always nice, and for majority of the time, there are lots of things that are accomplished.
Right, that's absolutely correct, and that's what's really important, is accomplishing what is important for our community. I'm very, very pleased with our ability to get along. We concern ourselves with the way we represent our city and its residents, and it's very important that we are professional.
Yes.
That we are pleasant but more importantly, that we express that we are there for the city of Vallejo and its residents.
Yes.
That's why you put us in office. And if we can't do that because we don't get along, then we probably shouldn't be on the dais.
The reason why I overemphasize this is because it's not an identification of just one race, but the fact that what the message that we get is that you are serving all of the people of Vallejo.
That's
I mean,
absolutely
all,
correct.
You know, and that's what is so great, you know, to feel about.
As a Filipino American, some folks said, well, gee, Bob, are you just going to represent the Filipinos of the community? And I said, no, there's about 125,000 people in this town. And guess what? I represent each and every one of them. I don't represent a particular race, religion, or otherwise. I represent everybody because you are the ones that need the voice. You're the ones that want to be heard. And I believe that each one of our council members feels exactly that they represent Vallejo as a whole, not a particular group.
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
As much as we're seeing success and also progress in the economic development arena, we cannot do away with challenges. And so,
Correct.
What are the challenges that face the city of Vallejo, and what is the most pressing need for our city now?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we do have our struggles.
Yes.
Just like any other community. As much as I'd like to say everything is peaches and cream, it's not. We have a very large homeless population that we're trying to accommodate, trying to work with, trying to find services for. Our last point in time count for this one, we were over 400. And that's a lot of homeless people in our community. And I have a struggle with homelessness, because I see the people that are in our parks, that are on our sidewalks, that are in vacant lots. The most heart-wrenching thing for me was looking at a photograph the other day that was on CNN of a homeless man in New York.
Yes.
I believe it was New York or Chicago, who was covered with snow. That broke my heart. Mm-hmm. They didn't indicate whether the individual was alive. However, my gosh, to be covered with snow, that's heart-wrenching for me. And to think of homeless families, to think of children that don't have a place to go, that are couch surfing, what kind of an environment is that? And that is a huge challenge for us. But fortunately, we are addressing it. We're working on it. And as a council, we may not have a perfect solution, but we are addressing it. We're providing shelters. There are a lot of volunteer organizations that are out there that are helping the unsheltered with food, clothing, and basic necessities. One of the programs that I've tried to pull together is having the county provide medical, dental, social services,
Yes.
veteran services for the homeless and those that need that service that are unable to get to them. So that's one of the things we've addressed. Another issue is jobs that are more sustainable for a family, that give a living wage.
Yes.
I would love to see that. And I think as we start building on Mare Island, as we start building here on the east side, we will see more of those jobs available for our residents. Residential placement to me is huge.
Okay.
And I want our residents to have the first crack at these sustainable jobs.
Yes.
Lastly is affordable housing.
Yes.
Maria, we're getting gentrified. We really are. And sadly, what I'm seeing is our investors looking at Vallejo, because we're one of the last Bay Area communities that has affordable housing.
Yes.
So some of these folks are snapping up these houses, buying these houses, and then they're renting them for top dollar. And they aren't being good neighbors. So I really would like to see us improve on our housing stock, make Vallejo a livable community, but also we need to say we should have a ratio, and the ratio now is from what I'm hearing, 80% market value and 20% affordable.
Wow.
And I would like us to be somewhere within that ratio because it shows an improvement in our community, but it also allows those that need the housing to have that housing available to them.
Okay, I just have, remember the old post office?
Yes.
So tell us why the demolition of the old post office is important and how will it help the Vallejo waterfront development?
2 words, economic development.
Good.
And the reason is this. We are looking at a post office, that site, that
Yes.
post office site, is going to become a parking structure. What we want to do is build 2 parking structures. We have one now, maybe elevate the existing one, build this one, and move the surface lots onto this parking lot or these parking structures. And then we'll be able to build businesses and live work onto the surface lots that are downtown.
So I think that I like all your ideas and I like what's happening in the city of Vallejo. What I was so excited when I saw you and Rear Admiral Cropper, talking, about, about the last celebration that we had. We attended at the, on Georgia Street, and how happy you guys both are. And so I want you to, this is your moment. It's almost like an address, a city address of the mayor, but I'd like you to please address your Vallejo constituents on how they can help you and how they can contribute to the progress of the city of Vallejo, because you may need volunteers in those arenas, and I want you to appeal to them so that they will know exactly how to support you in all the things that you're doing, because you're doing a tremendous job.
Well, thank you, Maria. I really appreciate that.
Yes.
And to the residents of Vallejo, we need to change the image of our town. We need to celebrate Vallejo. We need to be proud of who we are. We need to be positive. And a lot of that can be a very simple thing, from not littering to volunteering for commissions. We have openings on a lot of our commissions, and that gives you a voice. That lets you become involved in the governance of the city of Vallejo. It allows you to say who you want to see working within your community. We have openings in the Human Relations Commission, Arts Commission, Beautification Commission. The list goes on and on and on. But we are in an exciting time in the city of Vallejo. Our window of opportunity came open several months ago. We are jumping through, and I invite you to be a part of that momentum. Be a part of this celebration. Be a part of the rebuilding of a community that is no longer a diamond in the rough, as some people say. We are now the gem of the North Bay. We really are. So, please,
Yes.
join us.
That is so
there
great.
we are. There we are. That's why I'm so excited.
Yes.
Because this is all about us. This is all about our community. This is bringing Vallejo forward and moving us in the direction that I think all of us wanted to go. And that being said,
Yes.
it really gets me jazzed up to see
That's so neat.
where
I like
where we're going.
Just up.
Yeah.
Our mayor is just up. So on that note, may I shake your hands and
Yes.
thank you for coming. And anytime you need us so that you can communicate to the constituents of
We'll do
Vallejo, you know that you're very cordially welcome here.
Thank